Hello and welcome to our channel. I'm Sandra Lohr, founder of Expat Pros Advice here in Panama City, Panama. Today we're here with our immigration lawyer, Idaliz Guiraud, founder of Guiraud Law. But besides immigration law, there are several other practice areas that she has here in her boutique law firm, one of which I have used recently to establish my last will and testament so that I can leave my last $10 to some people I don't really like. Anyway, Idaliz, can you walk us through the process for forming your last will and testament and filing it here in Panama?
Thank you, Sandra, for having me here. I want to start saying that when a client needs a will in Panama, the client needs a will in Panama when they have a bank account here, a car here, or any type of assets. In that moment, it's better to have a will done in Panama, because if not, you have to have the one from your country, and then you have to execute it there, and then send it here apostille, and it's a longer process. So, how we do it? We usually ask the clients to let us know who are going to be his or her beneficiaries and the percentages. You don't have to do a specific will, we can do a general will. You don't have to mention everything you have there. So once we have the information, we prepare a general public deed, and we review it together with the client. First, we will do it in Spanish, and then we translate it into English. We send it to the client for review. Once the client is happy with the final draft, then we have to schedule an appointment with a public notary. We pick a date and time that we can go. We have to go with 2 witnesses. If the client doesn't have 2 persons to bring with, we appoint them here in our legal offices. We will need 2 public authorized translations from Panama to help the client, because they're in the notary. This public translator is gonna read all the public deed to the client in front of the notary, and he has to accept it. So by law, we require 2. If the client doesn't have public translator, we also appoint it here. And then the client will have to pay notary and registry, notary and the translator's fees.
As well as for the witnesses.
As well for the witnesses, yes.
So I am currently doing my will here, and I was able to name my 2 executors and any appropriations that I wanted to leave. And in my case, I established a scholarship fund that Idaliz and her team are going to help me identify some charities here in Panama that can be the beneficiaries of my charitable giving from my estate. And so besides that part of what we would call family law in the U.S., what other areas of practice do you have in your firm?
Well, I have been opening bank accounts for clients for 18 years. Right now, we do personal bank accounts, we do corporate bank accounts, and we do bank accounts for foundations. So the majority of our clients opens the bank account here in our jurisdiction in Panama, but we also have other jurisdiction we work with, that is Belize and Bahamas. So we can open the bank account here in Panama remotely, so the client doesn't have to come. Even if a corporate bank account, we can also do it remotely. The main requirements a client needs: if you have an immigration procedure and a Panama cedula, of course, it's easiest to obtain the personal bank account here. But if you are a person from the United States that doesn't have yet an immigration procedure here, and you want to start to have a personal bank account, so when you come, you can cover your expenses, we will ask you to have your passport, a copy of your passport if we're going to do it remotely, your second ID, that could be the driver license,
okay,
a bank reference letter, a curriculum vitae to understand your profile as a business person,
okay,
a utility bill, a household utility bill to prove your current address and name. This is the main requirements that any bank will ask for a client to open a personal or corporate bank account. And of course, the bank will like to know how you do your earnings. So you can submit a tax income declaration, a work agreement, or a financial statement on any type of agreement, like a rental agreement that indicates how you get your incomes at the moment.
So whether you're in Belize, the Bahamas, or Panama, you can help any aspiring expat to open their banking relationship in those 3 countries?
Yes, it's correct.
Oh, wow.
And Bahamas and Belize is also completely remotely.
Oh, you can do it remotely for both Belize and the Bahamas. Well, that's very, very interesting because, you know, so many times in today's global environment, particularly with solo entrepreneurs and remote workers, they may be moving around. You know, they're not interested in paying a 30-year mortgage and living in the same house and passing it to their grandkids. So they have an entirely different frame of mind than we had growing up. So besides banking and estate planning, what other types of law do you practice here?
Well, we also can help the clients if they are looking to rent an apartment. We help them review the rental agreement and make sure it's fair for both parties. We also help the clients when they're going to buy a property. We help them to do the due diligence to make sure the property is secure to be bought, even if it's pre-construction or already built or a land. We help the client to go through all the purchase agreement. We review it with them, help them through the whole period of payment, because here in Panama, it's a little bit different in the United States. Here you sign a promise of purchase agreement. In this promise of purchase agreement, you indicate how the final purchase is going to be done. So it's established the way of payment. When the final payment has to be done before, then we create or we do what we call the public deed, the final sales public deed. We help the client to do that, and then we go with the client to sign this deed in the public notary, and we do the registration with them. So we accompany the client since the moment they pick up property to the moment they finish the purchase.
You know, Idaliz, one of the main reasons that I established Expat Pros Advice in the first place is because I saw on all these Facebook groups where people were just being scammed during the real estate process and sometimes even during the immigration process. And I thought if I could put a team of professional experts together to help people not be scammed anymore and to really have a positive experience in moving to Panama. And thanks to you, that's exactly what we've been able to do. I think so many people don't really understand that if they're going to buy property, they need a pre-purchase promissory agreement with the seller, and they need someone who's acting on their behalf with both the real estate broker, the seller, and or the developer to make sure that they're getting a fair shake. And we're so glad that you're here to help our clients do just that.
Well, we are happy, and in the years when I have to work with clients from the United States, I have noticed that they are not used for a person to be within the complete process. So I understand the difference, but I always at the beginning now try to tell them, even we do the inspection for them if they want, to make sure the property has been built as they want. So we are happy to help them and make sure that as a Panamanian, I want every foreigner to want to invest in this country has a great experience.
And I'm so happy to hear that from you, because I've even seen on some of the Facebook groups where there's been air property involved and people have not really been able to navigate through the complexities of an air piece of property. So do you provide some assistance to make sure that they are getting a clear deed to property?
Yes, it's correct, 100% yes.
Well, what else is in your practice bandwidth that we haven't discussed?
Well, let's take it from the purchase process. We do Panamanians, corporations, and foundations. So if a client wants to put that title of the properties into companies, we do it for them. If they want to do it through a foundation, we do it for them. So we take care of the asset protection area of the client also. So when you have clients that wants to come to live here, they want to do the immigration procedure, open the bank account, pick up property, we help them in the whole process, and we help them in a way that their asset is protected also.
Well, I can tell you folks that her team is the best. And that's, of course, why at Expat Pros Advice, we have them on our team. We want to make sure that when you move to Panama, your experience is glitch-free and seamless. And so thanks to Guiraud Law, we're able to make sure that your money is in good hands too. So thanks for joining us. Until next time, we'll see ya. Bye.